Okay, let's get started here. So, did both of you guys do your homework? Let's do a quick homework
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
I did mine.
I did
I
mine.
did mine
I
on
did mine on
paper
paper.
because it wouldn't. It would. The typing like wouldn't work for me because like my computer's like um it has problems. So like we ordered a new one. So I did mine on the homework. I did mine on the paper.
Are you talking about your story? Or you're talking about the questions from the reading.
No, no. The reading was good. It's just
Okay, so
the
the
question.
story.
Yeah, the story.
Okay. Um, can you type that into WhatsApp so you can't get into the document?
No, 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 I can, but like it won't allow me to type because like there's like a virus or a problem.
Oh,
So I have to switch like
or
laptop.
your
Or my
keyboard
keyboard
has
is
been.
like, or my keyboard's been like disabled or something. So maybe you're right. Maybe I can type it in like WhatsApp on my phone or something. Because I wrote it down on my paper.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You could also, yeah, if you can type it, that would be better.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this right here, yeah, if you want to do that now, um, I'll work with the Reeve. So can you do that now? And then that way, what I'll do is I'll cut and paste it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to be helping you with what's here, but then what you wrote on paper is going to be different. So it's almost going to be like almost wasting your time on that.
But like,
So or Reeve, yeah,
all right,
I'm
but
listening.
like for the, like, hold up. For like the thing I did for like the open session document, the passage I wrote, do I do I like write that on WhatsApp or like just use the one I wrote on my paper?
Whatever you would have done that. So remember, the homework was to make the changes. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever that would have looked like, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
So you would have taken, so the homework basically, you would have taken this right here, right? You wouldn't have written it from scratch. You would have made some changes here, right?
Yeah.
So if what you wrote down on paper is a rewrite of this, that you changed this to something different, then just type that in WhatsApp. But if you just made a little bit changes here and there on this, but this is still good, then I don't know what to say. I guess you could, let me do this. Um, I can send this to you in WhatsApp.
All right.
At least that way, I don't know
Wait,
what's happening.
I thought I have to send it on WhatsApp.
Right, but I'm just saying that if you want to revise it on WhatsApp, then I can put this up there for you, or you know what I'm saying? I don't
Okay.
know if that makes sense, but 945-289. Okay, so I sent it to you in WhatsApp, and that way you could copy and paste it, kind of like what you see me doing here. Copy and paste it into a message, or maybe you have another place on your phone where it looks better, but you could, now that you have it here, you can make changes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of what you want to do. And then just send me that new one and then I'll copy and paste it.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. Of course.
Okay. Arif, I'm gonna look at your story right now and
Okay.
and then we're gonna work on this a little bit. So oh, doesn't look like you did any changes here. Okay, so you haven't done this.
What do you mean?
Well, fix the verb tense. Like is should be changed to was.
Oh, okay.
pass the ball to LeBron once Arif passed. So this is good. Is running needs to be changed. And here's the example I gave you, ran. So when you read a story, it needs to be all in the past tense,
Okay.
right? So he passed the ball to LeBron while passing the ball. It was stolen and they made a bucket. So that also needs to be changed. Um, calls needs to be changed. Says needs to be past tense. This is fine. Fans cheered. Screaming on chant. Holding. I think there's a missing to be verb right here. LeBron was holding. Um, players. Right there as well.
Is this better?
Yeah. Yes, there you go. Okay. Then so anywhere that you see it's bold right here, I want you to fix. So I know that this is fixed, so you can unbold it, right? So past is already fixed. But there's still these areas right here is running, calls. Set is fine. Screamed is fine, so that's what's running down your court. Okay. Um, that's fixed. That's fixed. Okay, there's only one left right there. Oops. Yeah.
I fixed that.
Okay, you have one verb left right here, hits.
Oh, so I just put hit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, my bad.
Okay. Um, all right. What I want you to do, um, read the story to yourself. We need to add some transitions here. So is there a transition you can put here? This is a good transition right there while passing the ball. Um, is there a transition here? So because what you're writing is a story here, all the transitions that I listed on page 15, and there are others as well. There's probably hundreds, but this still just give you an idea of some of the ones that you could use. You could
Uh,
change these, you can make up your own, but you could
okay.
start with these,
Yeah.
right? Um, so
Yes,
these are
so
the
I'll
types
go
of
and add in
transition.
transitions.
Yeah. And you can get quite creative with them too. I know we might end up exaggerating because you don't need transitions before every single sentence, but it's a good practice. I think you meant to say. Here it might simply be a transition like and, because you don't always have to say then, right? After, then, after. Um, because when you're in a certain part of the story, it's almost like you don't want to overdo it either. Um, okay. Um, okay, next thing for you. And then Sharon, let me know if you're done. I'm not trying to rush you, but that way I don't lose track of time and I can circle back to the
I'm almost done.
WhatsApp.
I'm about to copy and paste and send it to WhatsApp on your contact.
Okay, and then
Like,
just
do I
double
send it
check
on
that
like
you're not.
do I send it on your contact or like the group chat?
Oh, just mine. Just
All right,
reply.
all right, cool, cool.
Yeah. Okay, Reef. There's one place in here where there is a present tense verb. There's just one that you need to fix. So if you want to find that, fix it, and then add these two transitions here.
Yeah, I'm working on those two transitions.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Okay, let me see. While you're doing that, I will look at read works just for the later work that we're going to do. Assignments. This will be for the ninth grade class. Past assignments. Circles up. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. First, the fans cheered and clapped, and something. All right, let me cut and paste this into our document. Okay. All right. What I'd like you to focus on next, Sharon. First, the fans cheered and clapped hands. Suddenly, the arena in Dallas was so loud the floor shook. Then the fans in their colorful blue jerseys cheered and looked amazed in silence and then clapped loudly with each dunk and steal. The lengthy, strong players loudly dunked the orange ball in the air. Swish. After that game, Okay, I'm missing some parts here because I don't know who's playing. So maybe you want to give me a little bit of background. I like how that you started with action here, but I thought that you had given me like what your main character wanted. Like who's your main character? What does he want? What's
Um,
preventing him? So
so like I gotta say like the main character's name and stuff.
well, yeah, but remember we had A, B, and C. Um,
Oh,
so the question was, okay, so your main character is Kobe Bryant.
yeah,
And he wants to win the title and the MVP.
yeah.
And then what's standing in his way is the finals. Like probably even that he's playing a good team in the finals. But when I get to your story, it feels like let me read the whole thing again because it feels like I'm not really getting the importance of the story, like how important it is. And it's Kobe, right? So let me read. The lengthy, strong players loudly dunk the orange ball in the air. Swish. After that, game winner equals the championship trophy. Okay, this should be probably past tense. They would have won the championship trophy. Before I knew it, everybody is, all right, we're going to move that to past tense, was celebrating.
Hmm.
Okay, and I don't know, are you talking like you're Kobe Bryant? Are you one of the spectators?
No,
Are you any
I'm one of the spectators. So
o-
mhm.
okay. Um
I can edit my like to see what's
yeah, so somewhere in here you want to introduce yourself. So let's see. Introduce yourself.
like. Where do I say like
And
Kobe or like?
right. Then after this uh tell us why this game or what game this is. Championship,
Okay.
playoffs, right?
Yeah. Well,
You can just
I'm
say this.
yeah.
I'm listening. I'm
I'm
listening.
still stuck on like this the Kobe Bryant part because like I want to know
Yeah.
where I'm trying to find like where should I keep like his name in like some in like one of these sentences, but like I'm getting
Hmm.
confused and like will it make sense or not? Like, do I really have to add his name? Because I know we have to because like it's the instructions, but for my story, I don't. I'm thinking like it will it be like too confusing? Like, will it not make sense or something? So I'm like getting stuck on that.
Why would it be confusing to name the player?
No, no, because like the thing is like the arena it says like in Dallas. Can we change like Dallas because like it's in LA, right? He plays for LA,
Yeah, right.
so people would be confused about that. And also I feel like maybe my story is like I don't know, maybe I don't trust myself keeping like in the maybe I'm confused about keeping them his name in like not the right spots. Like
Oh,
me,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but ask yourself this question. And I love your questions. Let me turn the light on a little bit brighter. If so, the whole reason why we ask the question, who's the main character and what does he want and what's preventing him? We build the whole story around that because that's what makes a story,
Mm-hmm.
right?
All right. Okay.
So, one of the things that we can do to get unstuck here is we can do a quick outline, right? So we can say action
Action.
with setting. That's really okay. Don't worry. I'm gonna go. I'm it looks like I'm going fast, but I'm gonna slow down. These are the different parts of the story. Action with setting. Okay. Um, introduce character. Okay. And show what he wants. Finally, what happens is there's going to be an incident. What is an inciting incident? It's something that happens that okay. It could be a play. It could be somebody dunked on him. It could be Dallas was winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem, and that's where your story really starts.
All right.
So right here, we're in the background section, right?
Right.
Action with setting. You've given me action already. You sort of you've given me the setting as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you have but but you can just add a little bit, tell us why or tell us what this game is. Is it a championship playoff? So that the reader kind of has an idea.
Yeah.
And then the reader will say, oh my gosh, this is an important game. Okay. All right, I get it. Right. You can say this was the final game in 7 games, or this was the tiebreaker, something like that. Then that's going to be the action with setting. The setting is where and when the story takes place. But
Yeah.
also, it's a little bit about where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I want you to introduce Kobe. I want you to say, um, right here in this part. Okay, so let's move this over here. Let's give it brackets so that you know it's not part of your story. It's just kind of like directions.
All right.
So you're going to give me that next
All
because
right.
you jump right to the end of the game kind of abruptly here. So give me some actions here. So give me the inciting incident, something, show me some place where
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's desire or his goal gets prevented,
Mm-hmm.
at least in a suspenseful or interesting way, right? Because we know how a basketball goes, basketball game. Every Even the best team in the world is losing. They're always losing at one point, and then they catch up, and then they're behind, and they catch up, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because they're down by 5 points in the half at the half doesn't mean they're going to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So give me like maybe close to the end of the game. It was a 2 minute warning, and Kobe got dunked on, and it was close. He didn't know if they were going to win or not. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it more interesting. Because you don't want to just say they were down by 3 points because the reader's already thinking to himself, that's no different than any other basketball game, right?
Yeah,
He's
you're
just
right.
telling me he's telling me like the normal boring stuff of games. Like, what's the point of the story? Why am I reading this story? Why they're reading the stories? Because it's all about Kobe and what he wants
Mm-hmm.
and what he desires. Now, we all know that Kobe wants that. That doesn't make a story. What makes a story is when there's conflict. Conflict is this.
I see.
That's another word for conflict. An inciting incident, inciting meaning an incident happens that incites. You ever heard the word incite violence?
Yeah.
Like you say something or you do something and it causes something else to happen where there's a point of no return. So if it's like two people fighting, the moment somebody throws a punch, that's an inciting incident. There's no return. that is going to become a fight until the end, right? So
Yeah.
inciting incident is something that you can never go back like, oh, and then they were winning again. Oh, they were losing. And it's not like that. It's more like Kobe got hurt. He was down 3 points, 2 minutes left to go. And then it's almost like that's like an inciting incident because in his mind, that's a point of no return. That's like now you have to do everything possible as a player to make it happen, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're like fighting us and they're gonna about to beat us. And no, we can't let this happen. So this right here that you gave me, you could say this kind of like in the beginning too. You could say, like in this section here where you talk about Kobe's desire,
Yeah.
you could say he woke up in the morning tying his shoelaces and he got up an extra hour early just to practice in the arena.
Yeah.
And he stared at the trophy, or he pulled out his phone and it showed pictures of all his prior trophies. And then he pointed at this phone
Mm-hmm.
and he said, I'm going to get this today.
You're right.
Right. And then he looked at the MVP jersey from 2011 or something like that. I don't know basketball. You have to kind of, you know more about the MVP and how to show that, right?
You're right. Yeah.
It's not, and what I'm trying to get you to see here is you can tell the reader that he wanted to win the championship game, but it's kind of, it makes for a boring part of the story. Readers get bored by being told things. They want to be shown things,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I put here, show me, show me. Now,
All right.
Reeve, I hope you're listening to us unless you're working, because this is kind of a lesson to every one of us
Yeah,
here.
I'm listening.
You see what I'm saying? So, um, so Sharon, notice how Reeve right here, he says, eventually people cheered and fans were screaming. He could have said the fans were happy that they won the championship. He did, but he did something way better, is he
Yeah.
showed us. He
Right.
showed us. And that's what you have to do in stories. You have to take out all the parts where you're telling. But I'm going to help you, Sharon, because in the beginning, I know this is a lot. This is a lot of different things to add in. You're probably wondering, like, how do I start? Well, what I
Yeah.
would do, I would just start on these sections that I'm giving you right here. And
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and tell me. That's fine. You can say he wanted to win the championship game. We will fix it. Don't worry about that.
All
When
right.
it comes to introducing yourself, just tell me that. Don't worry about making it good.
All right.
When it comes to introducing a character, what he wants, you,
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? We have to make it kind of boring at first, and then we can add the details later. So
All right.
that way, we're just focusing on the parts of our story. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, it's just way too much. It's overwhelming. Um,
Yeah.
so, um, have I put down inciting incident?
Yeah. You have insight.
Yeah, it's
Where?
prevented.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so you're going to give me that right over here. This right here, this is the resolution. Okay. Now that's important. Whatever you're telling me here is actually um important because that, but okay, watch this. I think this part here, he emotionally says anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that kind of go up here where you're showing me what he wants?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of that. But that's not enough, right? Because anybody can say anything is possible. The reader's thinking like, what's possible? Like, is it possible to get like a hamburger? Is it possible, to meet your wife in Austin the day before the game for dinner? Like, what is he talking about, right? So that's why you want to say this was in the most important game of the year, not only for his team but for Kobe himself, because in that game, if they won, he knew there was a good chance he could become the MVP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I've given you a ton,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's I'll pop over. So you can go ahead and work on that. Let me copy and paste that into
Yeah. WhatsApp.
um, WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope this has been helpful right here because
Not have.
I think I think students learn better now that you're in the story. You're asking the questions and you're making the mistakes, and that is how pros learn. That's how good ball players learn to be better basketball players. So you should be proud of yourself for doing this, doing
Yeah.
the work, asking the questions, even facing your confusion. I think I love that.
Yeah.
Um, all right,
Mhm.
there you go. What's up?
I see. Okay.
And just start at the beginning. Introduce yourself. This, no, my brother and I and my dad, we flew out to Dallas, or you live in Dallas, so I was there with my dad and my brother. You can make it boring if you want. Don't worry about it, making it good. And we'll fix it. Just work on that. Okay. And then for Reeve, um, and pretty soon after about 5, 6 minutes, we're going to look at the reading next because we don't want to neglect that. So Reeve, first I pass the ball to LeBron. Okay. So Reeve, question. You are one of the players?
Yeah. I think you told me to do that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Um, first I pass the ball to LeBron. While passing the ball, it was stolen and they made a bucket. Seconds later, LeBron screamed, "Pass the ball. Look up." Once a reach, once I, right, pass the ball. LeBron slammed dunk to take. So Lakers, yeah, up a point. You're probably saying take us up a point, right? Because you're one of the Lakers. Then suddenly Bam ran down the court and hit a step back 3-pointer. My question is this an opposing player? Okay. Now, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it
ask
is.
that. I
It
wouldn't.
is an opposing player.
Okay. Then you can however you want to say that or show that. You can say then suddenly one of the Knicks, right? Or suddenly one of the orange jerseys. Um, right. So something to kind of hint at that in a very visual way. Now we're remember what we're doing here, we're showing the reader. So it's okay to say the opposing player, but it's more interesting when you actually let the reader see the story. And the way to let the reader see the story is to describe things very clearly, right? The tall player in the orange jersey, and then people know already that that's the opposing team. So it makes the reader like they love it because they're like in the story. They're like seeing it like it's a camera, right? Seconds later, coach called timeout. Okay. JJ Redick said, let LeBron and Anthony rest. Eventually, people, nice. Ooh, this is interesting. Um, okay. Eventually, people cheered and fans were screaming. Right. What happens before they win the game? Is there any, like, can we put any suspense in the story?
Usually when they're up by pretty much, they sub out the best players and then they let like their bench go in. So I just said
Okay. So tell us where we are in the story. Tell us, actually, show us or tell us where we are in the story and why.
could I like put the score and say
Well, you could, but you can say, so when you're talking about games and stories, you have to, I guess what I'm trying to say is the big, let me give you football, for example. The first quarter, the second quarter in football are not that important, right? It is important to a degree. but it's more important what happens toward the end of a story. So
Okay.
readers know that when it's the final minutes or the final 10 minutes of the game, they already feel the urgency. And you don't have to say much there. You can say the Lakers were up by 3, but there was still 10 minutes left to go. Here's what I'm getting at. Remember how I was talking with Sharon about an inciting incident, and I was also talking about what prevents people getting from getting what they want. Have you shown us already what the main character wants in this game? Like, who's the main character in your story? What are they wanting? It's okay. I mean, this is how we make stories, right? We change things. We might say, maybe I'm the main character. Maybe it's LeBron. It almost doesn't matter, right? It's how you want the story to go. I would say it's either way, it's fine. It's almost more suspenseful when it's you because the reader can feel what you feel. They see what you see. But I think it's LeBron. He wants to win the finals because he will get his fourth ring. Have you shown us that in the story yet? And you said what's preventing him from getting that is the other team is very good. So have you shown that in the story yet? So I can put this.
Wait, what do you mean by like in up ahead it says take us? What do you mean by take us?
Okay, give me a second. He's
Yeah.
printed by. All right, take us. All right, let's see. Take. Oh yeah. Um, take the Lakers. So it says LeBron slam dunk to take us up a point. So instead of saying the Lakers take us
Oh, okay, I got it.
up a point. Yeah. Okay.
So I'll go fix that.
Okay, this is the part of the story that I think is missing right here. So this is the setting. You already set the stage. Um, good job setting the stage and throwing us. This is the next part here. So over here, tell me what your main character wants. All right. And then maybe down here, show or tell us what is preventing the main character. Okay. And how's it going there, Sharon?
Going good right now. I'm about to submit it. I mean, I'm about to send it to you right
Okay,
now.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And we're gonna pop over to the reading and Sharon, I noticed you didn't read the second article on the rise of oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere?
I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, you did, but I don't see where you answered the questions.
Okay. I'll,
Yeah,
I'll,
so look at my if you see my page on the screen for the rise of oxygen, I have the questions are missing.
okay.
Do you just have them written down somewhere else?
Yeah, I do. Because like I think they're like typing questions, so I couldn't really
Okay.
type. So I have the answer key in my paper.
Oh, okay. Can you put that in WhatsApp on
Yeah,
your phone?
I'm almost done.
Do that. And it may seem like the story's going taking forever, right? But as long as you're learning, it's like it's going to stick with you. All these steps, and when you see the final product, I think you're gonna see the difference between how you might have written a story in the past and how you write it now. Um, okay, so I'm gonna put this in here. Kobe Bryant first saw the fans cheering and clapping. Or you can say that they cheered and clapped their hands, right? Kobe Bryant first saw the fans cheering and clapping their hands.
Yeah.
Suddenly, okay, we need to put a comma there. The arena in Dallas was so loud. You don't put a comma unless you have three or more things like um, hamburgers, hot dogs, and ice cream, right? But when you just have hamburgers and hot dogs, you just put and, right?
Yes.
So was so loud and the floor shook, or
Yeah.
that the floor shook, right? You can say that the floor shook. Kobe knew the NBA finals would be tough. Well, I like that. Then the fans in their colorful blue jerseys cheered and looked amazed in silence and then clapped loudly with each dunk and steal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Then Kobe, with 4 seconds left, okay, let's make that past tense, hit the fadeaway jumper for the championship.
Yeah.
Everyone went wild, and Kobe won, and is kind of a weak transition. I'd like to make that stronger. And I
Okay.
want to slow it down. The way that we slow down a story, because these are moments where if you're in a movie, you kind of want to spend some time celebrating with the player, like from your point of view, um,
Mhm.
especially if it's a team you care about, right? Everyone went wild,
Yeah.
but this was most special for Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I'm doing here is I threw in a sentence, show you that it matters to him, and take us back into the fact that this is the main character. And remember, we're reminding the reader um, of what he wants,
Right.
because that's what a story is all about. Is the character going to get what they want? The reader always wants to know that. When you're writing a story, you're creating that question in their mind. If if you have a story where it's, Kobe's playing the weakest team, right? And they're always winning, there's not really a story there. Um, when the reader's not sure how it's going to turn out, then the reader keeps reading. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So all stories have to keep the reader in suspense. How do you do that? Is you don't give them, like, you want to create a little bit of doubt and a question in their mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So So the way that you can create that doubt here and slow the game down a little bit because you need to show some plays. Anytime you're writing a story about a basketball game, you don't just say, okay, the fans were cheering, there were slam dunks, and then they won. It's like, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah.
Like during the game, what were the highlights of the game, right? Like, did
Hmm.
anybody like try to steal the ball? Did anybody get hurt? Right. All those things. Now, it doesn't have to be very long, but it kind of has to build suspense.
Yeah.
So,
I see. I see. Yeah.
see, Dallas was winning going into the final quarter.
Yeah.
Kobe started clapping his hands and pumping up his team.
Yeah.
He pulled out his phone and looked at last year's trophy. Now it's kind of like more about him now, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, then then Kobe with 4 seconds left hit the fadeaway jumper
Oh, yeah.
um, for the championship.
Yeah.
But this was most special for Kobe and Kobe.
Yes.
This was because he had won his sixth ring.
Yeah.
He achieved what he had he'd right
Hmm.
been missing his whole career.
Yeah. Yes.
After the game, he emotionally says anything is possible. Nice. After that game winner, they would have won the championship trophy.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. That we already know. So because when you're talking about he won his for the championship, you already said that right there. So we can remove this here. The coach said, "Great job, y'all." The star player, proudly got the MVP.
Yeah.
Later that day, the happy players celebrated with champagne bursting all over them. Okay, great. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more we can change here. We could next session, what we'll do. I know we have 10 minutes less. Well, let's go to the reading. So let's agree that next session, um, um, okay, recap almost finalized stories by focusing on setting, inciting, incident, showing action in the right places, adding detail,
Hmm.
and fixing verb tenses and okay. Homework, what we should do. Um, Get rid, no, change all places where you tell us something and show us. So if you're saying Kobe's emotional,
Yeah,
that's telling
basically.
us
Kind of.
that's telling us. But what does it look like? How do we know? What does it sound like? Um, okay. If stuck, go to the five senses. Tears streamed down his face. Um, he screamed out. He yelled
Mhm.
out. Um, he walked back and forth and he held his eyes like this. He covered his eyes. He covered his
Oh,
face, right?
right. Yeah.
That's more powerful, right? So
Yes.
go throughout your stories, both of you, and show me, show me, show me. What's going to be wonderful about this, guys? Look, you already got your story written. You already have the beginning, middle, and end. Notice here, when we revise, this is what we do. We say, you know what? Let's make this stronger. How do we make this stronger? Okay, I need to add detail. Does a reader, are they confused about anything? Are there any missing pieces? But what kind of player is this for a Reeve? Oh, an opposing player. Oh, that makes a difference because that shows they're losing, and that's good for a story. Anytime your character's losing, it's good for a story because it keeps your reader asking the question, is he going to win? Is he going to lose? Is it going to be a happy ending, sad ending? And that's how you keep your reader going. Keep them in suspense. Make it look like they're losing when they're winning. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Um,
Yes.
now, then the other way that you revise a story, there's a lot of different ways, but I want you to focus this time for homework on showing us. Use the five senses. Give me
Right.
the colors, the sights, the sounds, what these things taste like. What do they sound like? What do they resemble? The player looked like a big refrigerator. Use similes and metaphors. The crowd, like the arena shook like there was an earthquake. Use like and as. Use like and as to create
So we can use any
simile.
figurative language to make the story better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But notice here, I'm teaching you guys how to become better writers. So in the future, when you're writing, you're not focused on these metaphors and showing and everything. You're just focused on getting the story out. And notice how we had to make the story simple. And I had to get you guys to tell me these different things up here in the outline when it was the ABC and the one, two, three, and all that. That was like so we could focus on the major parts of the story because that the reason is because if we didn't do that, we wouldn't know whether we had a story. We would just be writing and hoping that we have a story, right? I want you guys to, when you start a piece of writing, to be able to say to yourself, okay, if I'm writing a story, what is a story? A story is about a character who wants something. Not only that, but something prevents him. It creates conflict. Not only that, but who creates that conflict? Who's doing that? And what does the character do as a result? And that tells you what events to put into your story because the events all have to be about what he's doing because he's being prevented. In other words, every detail in the story has to have an important role, right? It
Yeah.
has to it has to be about, okay, is this about my character getting what he wants or is this about him being prevented, right? If it's one of those two, you're on the right track, right? Eventually you want the story to end. How do you know when to end the story? Well, when you've shown enough about your character, who he is. The key here, the key is you show like a small obstacle, a small conflict, a small problem. And you know what that does for your reader? It shows who your character is, what kind of person they are. Because everybody, you don't know who your friends are until you see how they act when there's problems. But here's the thing about a story. How do you know when to end? How do you know how many conflicts are enough? The answer is Have you shown enough about your character deep? So, especially in a story about basketball, football, baseball, it's when your character is about to end, or about to lose the game. That's the best way to show who your character is about. How do they act when they're losing? What happens when they're about to lose? And that's the climax of the conflict right there. And once you've shown that your character, what they did, like Kobe here is pumping his fist. He's looking at, or LeBron, whoever it is, he gets motivated by looking on his phone at that trophy. He gets motivated by cheering his team on, saying, "We can do this, guys. We can do this." Right. And then the reader says, "Oh, wow. I know what that character is like, really like." Or maybe he gets angry too. Says, "We're better than this. We're better than this," right? And so when you show those moments with your characters under pressure, that's when you know you're on the right track. Is because characters don't, I mean, we don't learn about them when they're just getting everything that they want. Like it's a boring story if you're telling me about LeBron dunking on somebody in Dallas. It's boring, right? So because we answered the question in the beginning, what does he want? What's preventing him? That's the key. What is preventing him? That's going to force your character to do things that they never dreamed of doing, or things maybe they were too afraid to do, right? Maybe LeBron was all focused on himself. Maybe he was selfish for 3 quarters of the game. And maybe at the final moments, he said, you know what? This is not about me. This is about my team. And so now instead of motivating himself, he motivates his team.
Yeah.
And he says, man, uh, JoJo, Arif, Charon, you're better than this. Okay, let's work on those layups. Like, it's timeout. They're on a commercial right now. Pass me the ball. Let's practice right now. Let's practice just like we did, right? And so you can write that into your story. And then the reader says, wow, I never knew that about LeBron. See, I'm learning about LeBron, right? And and when and they learn about themselves, because that's what stories do for your reader. They get to learn about themselves. And that's why we like to read stories. We don't read stories because we're bored. Read stories about other characters because we want to be like those characters. We want to become champions. We want to become cool under pressure. We want to become team players. We want to become champions, right? So, um,
Um,
so Arif, what I'm going to do, um, next time for sure, we'll spend the first we're going to start with reading next time so that we don't neglect these because you missed a couple questions here and we want to kind of figure that out as a group. So that way, Arush and Sharon and I can all help you kind of like with those questions, like what were you thinking to get those particular answer choices and what might you have thought about differently just to help you
Okay.
out there. So we'll start that session with that. Um, and then Friday we're gonna do like a mid assessment. So just to see where you're at with your writing. All right. So all right, hopefully it's been helpful to you guys. Are you guys learning a little bit more about how to write effective stories?
yeah,
Yeah, and so we'll see you next time.
All
yeah.
right.
Bye.
All right, take care.